I'm the master of ceremony. I hope you have fun and learn a lot. I'm going to tell you all about me. So, I'm second grade turning into first grade. I'm 7 years old. And I go to French school. It's called École Renaissance. I go to the class de Caroline, and the grades are first and second. So the things that I like about it is swimming, trampoline, summer vacation, camping, and video games. I hope you have fun and learn a lot.
Thank you very much, Jack. That is my son. Amazing job, buddy. Thank you. He was pretty proud about being master of ceremonies. And that was my beautiful daughter, Abby, as well. Thank you, Abby. Good morning, everyone. And on behalf of the Natural Care Clinic and our guest speakers here with us today, I'd like to welcome you to our 4th annual Biomedical Conference, our focus being on emerging trends in the treatment of autism, ADHD, PDD, OCD, and Tourette syndrome. My name is Lisanne Rowe, for those of you who don't know me, and I was a parent speaker at last year's conference, sharing the story of my amazing son, Jack, who you just met, and the remarkable successes that we've seen since implementing biomedical strategies in treating his autistic symptoms. Jack was diagnosed with autism a little over 5 years ago. At the time, he was nonverbal, he stimmed, he had little to no eye contact, and he had severe tantrums, sometimes several times daily. Today, as you can see, he's a different child. My story is very similar to what I would imagine many stories that are here today. A parent of someone a young child who recognized some quirky behaviors at a very young age, something a little bit different, which my concerns were politely dismissed by most of the medical doctors that I did take them to. And in their defense, he was still young, he was still developing. But there is that true to form, there is that mummy instinct. I knew that something was not quite right. Finally, he was diagnosed at the age of 3 with autism spectrum disorder. And what that meant for us was a number of waiting lists, which I'm sure most people who have the similar experience will know much about the waiting lists here in Canada. And so we had a choice at that point. We could wait a year and a half to 2 years to see the severity and what our options were, which we did. We put them on the waiting list. But we also looked into things that we could be doing right away. And over throughout all our research, biomedical kept coming up. And we were so fortunate to find a doctor in our area who specializes in biomedical treatment. That doctor's name is Dr. Sonya Doherty, who you'll hear from a little bit later today. What biomedical meant for us initially was, we have to change his diet. And he's going to starve to death because we're removing the only things that he eats, which are gluten and dairy. But really, it was not that difficult. And what I say to a lot of people who now ask me about how hard it is to take on a different diet, my answer is, what we were dealing with before was hard, and what we're dealing with now, not hard at all. It's a matter of removing a couple of food items, and it meant a world of difference in his development. So as I mentioned, we were fortunate enough to find a doctor in our area, and this doctor completely changed our lives. And I'm going to do something a little bit different this year, something a little bit off the, I guess, what we would normally do. A lot of you already know the story of my son, and for those of you who don't, I'm sure you can understand or you empathize with it. So I really wanted to pay a tribute to Dr. Sonya Doherty, and I'm going to try to get through this without crying. Dr. Doherty, thank you. Through every milestone, every hurdle, you have been there. Through stages of success and the treatment of Jack's regression, you were an absolute godsend. I trust you with my child's life, which is the greatest compliment a parent can give, because you gave my child his life back. You are responsible for lifting Jack out of that fog, and for affording him the opportunity to be a kid, not just a kid on the spectrum, but a kid who has friends, who loves life, and in no doubt in my mind, will go on to be a success and embrace life with an abundance of love and passion. For that, I thank you. I am here today because of Dr. Sonya and because of my son. I'm here to tell you that there is hope. We have with us here today a collection of professionals who have devoted their lives to helping others, and it is with the warmest of sentiment that I welcome them. We have a great day planned for you. You'll hear from a number of doctors and parents who have experienced similar successes with biomedical treatment. We invite you to browse through the exhibitor fair, which is located in the cafeteria. I think most of you have already been there. I'd also like to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors, the Natural Care Clinic, who each year has hosted this event. Thank you for hosting again for our 4th year in a row. A huge thank you goes out to Dr. Patricia Fink, who's an optometrist, and Dr. Amanda Azarbehi from Kids Solutions. You're going to hear a little bit from them as well today. And a very special thank you to all of our exhibitors.